So I bought this 2010 Ford F-150 from Copart, which is an insurance auto auction. Something you need to know about Copart is they really like to add fees. My winning bid was $6,200, and after 12 different fees, my total came out to be $7,943.75. Again, this is something that I'm already aware of, and if you will be buying cars from there, you just need to be aware of it as well. Now let's go ahead and take a look around and see what we have to do here. Starting from the front, looks like we will obviously need a front bumper here. This one is in chrome. It does come in a couple separate pieces, so you have the upper filler and then also the bottom plastic, which will need to be replaced. At first glance, the headlights do look okay, but they're actually cracked. The housing is cracked, and then same with the actual mount, so they're no good. They need to be replaced. And the same thing on the other side. They're functional, but they're no good. The hood obviously needs to go. The fender itself, it seems to be in okay shape as well. The wheels, the front ones have a lot of dust caked on, but again, this is nothing major. We can clean that out. It does have a couple scratches here and there. Again, nothing major, nothing that we can't buff out. The rest of the body seems to be in pretty good condition. There's nothing major as far as damage wise. It's just normal wear and tear. And the rear end, same thing. There's nothing really happening here. We got chrome bumper, tailgate's good, it's operational. Leather tonneau cover is good condition as well. Tires also fairly decent. They should last us, quite some time here, so a couple seasons, so no reason to replace those. On the inside, it's pretty clean actually. Just needs a little vacuuming and detailing, but again, nothing major. It does have tan leather seats and then brown carpeting. From the accident, we do have a blown airbag, which we'll have to replace, and this is again pretty easy stuff. With that, the seat belts typically will fail as well, so that needs to be changed as well. And again, for the restraint system, there's the actual module that also gets blown out, so it needs to be reprogrammed or changed out. So this is it. It's a fully running condition, runs and drive. I drove it home, so look forward to actually start taking it apart. Under the hood, there's more damage, of course. So we have a radiator core support. That's the upper panel, and it looks like it's cracked right over here. So obviously we need to be changed. But the good news is all the radiators survived. So you have the actual condenser, the transmission cooler, and the radiator itself. Everything survived. So it's holding fluids. It's operational. Again, like I mentioned earlier, runs and drives. The motor, it works great. There's no damage to the motor itself, no leaks. Fully operational. So I'm gonna start taking this apart, and again, once you start taking it apart, that's really where you find all the gems, all the hidden damages. So we'll see what we find underneath all the bumpers. So I have the front end disassembled here. Looks like we have the actual rails are pretty straight, so it's just the brackets that are bent. Completely usable. We have to weld on a piece there. I already replaced the radiator support. It's a bolt-on, bolt-off piece. Pretty simple to swap, so that's been replaced. Here's some fender damage, which we're going to bundle later as well. The bumper is already here as well. This is a chrome replacement or used from a local junkyard. It's actually in pretty good condition. There's no damage to it, and again, it's no rust either, so it's in really good shape. Some of these brackets I'm reusing from the original one. Same with the fog lights. Everything is just bolt on, bolt off. It's time to replace my airbag. With these Fords, they typically have these pins that hold the airbags in place, and then also 3 electrical plugs. Oftentimes when these airbags deploy, these plugs do melt, and if the plug does melt, you need to replace the whole box thing. So to remove these airbags, I essentially just use a small flathead screwdriver, and there's a total of 3. So some cars have 2. This particular Ford has 3 little pinhole holes on the side here that you essentially just stick this in, which will release the airbag. So there's one here, and then one here. The new one is it's OEM original, just from a salvage yard. So here that is. I disconnected the horn for this whole procedure, I think, just so he doesn't keep honking. So there we go. We got progress. The truck is back from the paint shop. This is all just temporarily on the grill, the bumper, just so I can drive it home. The fender got repaired a little bit there. The paint looks phenomenal, absolutely amazing. These guys did a really good job at the body shop. Again, all this stuff is just temporarily on there, so I still have to take it apart. So I got a blend on the fenders, both fenders, and then painted the hood and the bumper. So that's why you can see the fender is very shiny. That's it was half painted, the rest was clear coat. The rest of the truck was not touched, so we didn't do any kind of paint anywhere else. On the inside, there's also progress. I started to take apart the center control, which is where the restraint module is. It comes off after 100 different bolts. This is what it looks like. And again, it just stores the crash data from the accident and needs to be sent in and cleared. Now this here is where the seat belt was. I already took that out for replacement. That's just a couple of clips on the plastic panel, and it came right out. In the back I have the upper filler. This was also actually the original one. So as you remember, there was a little crack in the center. That was repaired by a professional bumper place. Basically what they did is there's like a plasti weld from the inside, and then they did Bondo on the outside and refinished it. And again, it's really strong and it's phenomenal, and you would never tell. And this is that's all that's left of it. It's just some plastic welding. And again, this will save me some money, and at the same time looks great, and it's an original part. It did have to be repainted, of course. So this is it. It's basically complete. The paint's done. The final assembly is complete. The interior, the restraint system is all in place. Turned out really well. There was a couple minor things I had to fix after the fact. For example, my brake caliper was seized up, so that's something I had to swap out. Again, that's normal when you buy the car and you find some random things that are broken. I also had a problem with AC system and heater system. One side kept blowing hot, the other side was blowing cold. So I had to take apart the dash and replace one of the servo motors. Again, it's not related to the accident, but that's one of those things you have to deal with when you buy one of these, because you don't really know what was wrong with it before. Alright guys, this is it. I plan to make a lot more of these videos, so please subscribe and like as well, share, and I look forward to making more of these and hopefully get into even more detail. If you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Thank you.